Okay, this is the Android one. It'll be a little different, but there'll be a lot of copying and pasting. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything so you can kind of just do the code, and you'll have some source projects hopefully soon. I'll try and upload some. Anyways, like I said, lots of copying and pasting. What I did was I learned how to do the first one, and then I just copy and paste over. I don't see a problem with it. Like I said, spend more time learning the jQuery mobile, and then this is just kind of a bonus at the end. So a couple things. Once you get going, if you search Android SDK, the first link that comes up, you can go download. It should sense whether you're on a Mac or PC. There's a bundle. It's a zip file. It has this program called Eclipse in it that already has the SDK installed. If you ever need to, though, you can do the Android SDK manager, and it keeps track of anything that needs to be updated or whatever happens. There's also a virtual device manager where you can set up testing devices as far as like simulators like on iOS. Here's the problem, though. They take forever to load, and they don't work right, and kids are going to think their apps are broken, and really it's just the simulator's bad. So what I would do is let them test them on their devices, because with Android, all you have to do is enable it, and usually what happens is somewhere in their settings, and you can Google and find because each device is different, there's like this line, like the serial number, I think, and you tap it like 5 times, and then it says you're ready to develop. And what happens is the second they connect it with a USB cable to the computer, it shows that it's a testing device, and then you can do run configurations, okay? And then you pick the app you want to do, you target it to compatible devices, and it'll automatically pull up that device, okay? And then you would hit run, and it'll load on their phones or tablets or whatever. And I can almost be willing to bet most of your kids, or at least half of them, are going to have an Android device somewhere. You may want to look into investing in one, just for testing, just to let kids have something to play with and see their apps. You can get them cheaply, probably. Don't get the super cheap ones on Amazon. I bought one of those. It was a mistake. I've got a Google Nexus. It's like $230, so that's not cheap. I like it. I think the Galaxy 7-inch is a little cheaper. But you may want to look into that. Okay. So here's what happens. You do File, New, Android Application Project. Okay. You name it just like everything else. I'm going to do this as a WebView app, because anytime you search in iOS, it's UI something. This is just straightforward like WebView. And then you change your company name to whatever it is that yours is. I would have them do whatever they set it up for that. Okay? I'd leave everything else alone. Next, here's what you can do. You can set up a launcher icon, basically your app icon. I always choose the iPad icon I set up for iOS. So I build my iOS app first, because it takes 6 days to approve, and then I do my Android one because it takes an hour. And so I upload the one I already did. Not going to do anything this time. Okay? And then just do blank activity, and then just finish this. Okay? Don't worry about adding anything. With iOS, you add view controllers. With this, you add activities. It's all built in Java. So kids may want to learn Java. And with iOS, they want to learn Objective-C. And there's also a new code called Swift that Apple just created that you may want to look into. MIT also has an Android app building interface that supposedly is very user-friendly, that you may want to check out. Okay, just giving you options, just depending on the semester goes, what kids are into, what they want to do. You may want to let them pick their own track, because some of them will hate iOS, because whatever. If they hate iOS, tell them that's where the money is. If you want to make money building apps, you got to build iOS apps. If they hate Android, tell them there's a bunch of devices. Okay, so here's what happens. I've got a lot of stuff open. There's an activity_main file, and this is the code. Okay, it's WebView, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into mine. Okay, make sure I'm in the right one. What happens is there is a WebView app, layout, a res file, resources, layout, and then there's activity main. You put this line of code here. Okay, this is almost, just to kind of compare as best I can, this is kind of like your storyboard, okay, where you put all that stuff. All right, and basically it tells it this is a web view, pulling from the Android SDK, fill parent width, fill parent height, so basically fill up the screen. This is the other reason I use jQuery mobile for Android, no matter what. iOS, I've done a little more native code. Android always use jQuery mobile because there's so many devices you can never match all the screen sizes, and jQuery mobile automatically will do that. Okay, that's the first thing you do. Next thing you do, you go to source. There'll be red X's if you made problems. They usually give you all opportunities to fix things. This is an X because I deleted that code. And you can see, you can click on them. They give you a chance. Also, Google's your friend if you have errors. They shouldn't get too many. Okay, now I'm going to go to this main activity. The difference with Android and iOS is it's not automatically set up to do all these things. So you have to tell it to add all this stuff. Okay, so there's all these imports, and there's more code. Again, check out the source code that I sent, and you'll be in good shape. Okay, all right, I'm going to go back to my main file here. I'm going to highlight and delete everything. Paste. Make sure, because I do this all the time, don't do that package thing because that's for the other app. Okay. All right. Couple things. It pulls in the activity, intent we may talk about a little bit. Key events, what that does is there's a hard back button kind of on Android. It's a digital button. But if you click that, it just goes back to the previous page. It doesn't shut down the app. So you have to add that in, WebView, and then WebView client. Okay. Couple things. You actually have to tell it to set JavaScript enabled. It's not built to do that. Okay, so that's what this is. This is all loading the file, and I'll show you where the files go. But you can see it's index.html, my file name that I set up before. This stuff is stuff I added later. They may want to leave it in, though. What you do is you set up a client, and it's a little pop-up window that for different apps, if they're external links, specific ones, email addresses, phone numbers, that they open up differently, okay? And so I just set this up. I spent a lot of time finding it. They can just use kind of some of the code and do that, okay? And then this is just that key back button thing. All right. Like I said, just searched. I need how to use back button, how to open email, whatever. Because Android's a little different because it's not. There's so many devices that everything's different, and so you have to really tell it how to open mail because they're not a default mail app like on iOS. So there are some quirks to it. Sorry, I almost said twerk. But there's some quirks to it. Anyways. So here we go. Last thing, there's a manifest file. Okay, and I'm going to open up a manifest from another project. We'll do this one. Okay, a couple things that you do. You leave this alone. You do uses SDK, and here's the deal. You have to do request permission internet. Okay, the reason is even if you're not actually using the internet, because local files won't use the internet, you have to tell it that this is a web page, okay? And you always want to do Android required equals false, because what that means is that if the Wi-Fi is off, your app won't work, even though it doesn't need it. Again, Android's got some little bugs. It's okay. It's open overall in my experience, but all right. So support screens. This is because they got really picky. They realized they messed up with tablets because iPad was crushing them, and so they were trying to do better with their tablet experience. This is some other stuff that you don't have to worry about too much. But I copied the support screens in this application and replace over here. Okay. Oops. Let's try this again. All right, and the last thing. Okay. Hardware accelerated true. You want to add that at the end of the activity. It's still one of the most popular coding languages in the world. You may want to tell the kids, but mainly I would just kind of let the kids know, hey, we're not doing this, but if you want to further your knowledge, this is how you do it, okay? So I just add that in somewhere. There it is, okay? Sorry, my computer's a little goofy. All right, that's the last thing. So you do the layout, res, layout, activity underscore main, manifest file, and under source, you do the main activity. Okay, then you connect and run. There's one last thing, kind of like before. So I need to get where I can see it. You have a couple things. You've got a mobile site, that we created. Remember this one? Computer's getting slow. Bear with me. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. That you pull everything from, you copy, and here's what's going to happen. In your documents folder, usually is where they put this. There's a workspace file. Okay, I have two of them because I screwed up. But workspace, it's going to list all your projects. All right, go to the assets folder and paste. Okay, that's it. You're done. And that's the Android one. And so, especially if you're doing jQuery mobile, it's real fast. Build your iOS app, build your Android app, all on the same day. Really, the work goes on the website. And the nice thing is they can test it in a browser, and this way they can do web apps, HTML5 web apps, iOS or Android, and HTML5 and jQuery mobile are growing so quickly that honestly you can do anything, from saving typed in content to games, whatever it is. So I would say don't tell them no about anything. But just warn them they're going to have to look and figure it out. It may take them some time, but, challenge them to do that. If you have anything, email me. I'm going to upload some zip files of a couple of source projects, so you can kind of see some different things, and then we can, like I said, anything else.